My credit score recently dropped by 21 points overnight, all because of a common credit card mistake I made. I see many people who've seen similar sudden drops or feel their score is lower than it should be. So in this video, I'm going to break down 5 reasons why you're probably killing your credit score, and most importantly, how you can fix those issues to boost your score within the next 30 days. I'll also explain the mistake I made and how I'm planning to get my score back up. The mistake I made is a common one, but a more common mistake that can lead to a dip in your credit score is opening new accounts. New credit makes up about 10% of your score, and what you probably notice is that whenever you apply for a new credit, your score often drops slightly due to a hard inquiry. This is when a lender checks your credit report to decide if they should extend credit to you. The reasoning behind this drop is that lenders may see seeking new credit as a sign of potential financial stress, even if that is not the case. The exact impact depends on your credit history. If you're newer to credit, you might experience a bigger score drop, typically between 5 to 10 points compared to someone with a more established credit history. The good news is, because new credit only accounts for a small part of your score, it doesn't have as much impact as other factors. Additionally, these hard inquiries disappear from your report after 2 years and begin to lose their effect within just a few months. There's a myth that opening new credit is harmful, but in reality, the impact is temporary. After a few months, the influence of this increase fades and other factors start to play a bigger role in improving your score. And credit scores can be quite sensitive, and those factors that improve your score can also work against you if you're not careful, which is exactly what caused my score to drop 21 points overnight. So the second reason that you might be killing your credit score is having a high balance on your credit cards. This relates to a factor called amounts owed, which makes up around 30% of your credit score. A big part of this is your credit utilization, meaning how much of your available credit you're using. And credit utilization is calculated by taking your statement balance at the end of each billing cycle. You can find this on your credit card statement and dividing it by your credit limit. This gives you a percentage that impacts your credit score. Experts often recommend keeping your utilization below 30%, but for better results, below 10% is ideal. And this is on each individual credit card as well as across all cards combined. A lower utilization rate suggests you're managing your credit card well and aren't overspending, so you're more likely to make payments without issues. I found that the lower your utilization, the better, and I personally aim for 1 to 2%. Here's where my mistake happened that dropped my credit score. I got married and my husband added me as an authorized user on his credit card. The credit issuer reports the balance and limit of the credit card for both the primary card holder and the authorized user. While we had a $25,000 limit, we bought some new things for a small renovation of our home, which brought the balance to $2,000, resulting in 8% utilization. Although this isn't too high, it was higher than my usual 1 to 2%, leading to a temporary score drop. Normally, I would have paid off part of the balance before the statement closing date, so the reported balance would stay low, but since this was a new authorized user account, it slipped under my radar. The good news is that credit utilization doesn't have a lasting memory, so once we pay down the balance before the next statement, my score should recover. It is a reminder to always keep up with credit usage. As a final tip, if your credit score is already in the upper 700s or 800s, you don't need to obsess over keeping utilization at 1 to 2% all the time. If you're not planning on applying for a mortgage or a loan soon, staying below 10% is generally fine. However, if you're getting ready to apply for a new credit, that's when you should aim to lower your utilization to those lower percentages to maximize your score. And we all know credit utilization is something we can manage by keeping our credit card balances low and being mindful of applying for new credit. But a more challenging factor for many many is the length of credit history, which affects about 15% of your credit score. Although it might seem like something you can't control, there are some key strategies you can use to avoid hurting your score. First, be patient. You can't speed up time, so it takes a while for the age of your credit to positively impact your score. Tip number 2 that not everyone are aware of. There are two main components to credit age: the age of your oldest account and the average age of all your accounts. For example, let's say you have 3 credit accounts that are 8, 4, and 2 years old. Your oldest account is 8 years and your average age would be 8 plus 4 plus 2 divided by 3 is 4.5 years approximately. Now imagine you closed that 8-year-old account 10 years ago and it falls off your report after 7 to 10 years, so now it is no longer showing on your credit report. And if you also opened a new credit card now, then your average age is 2 plus 4 plus 0 divided by 3 is 2 years, which is lowering your score. To prevent this, never close your oldest account, especially if it's a no annual fee credit card. That account will continue aging and will help boost your score. If your first account has an annual fee, see if you can downgrade it to a no fee version. If that's not an option and you still need to close it, ensure other parts of your credit profile are strong first. With that, tip number 3 is to limit new credit applications. Opening too many new accounts in a short period lowers your average age of credit, which could hurt your score. A good rule of thumb is to space out new credit applications by 3 to 6 months, which also helps to avoid too many hard inquiries at once. Now, if you mostly have credit cards on your report, that's fine, but imagine you and someone else have identical credit profiles, same credit age and the number of credit cards, except they also have a mortgage and a car loan. Their credit score will probably be a bit higher due to a more varied credit mix. Credit models favor individuals who can manage different types of credit because handling a mortgage or a car loan is different from using a credit card. However, don't take out loans just to diversify your mix. You don't need to get an auto loan if you can pay cash for a car. Simply start with a no annual fee credit card to build your credit. As you need other types of credit over time, like a mortgage, add them when it makes sense. This way, you'll qualify for better interest rates, which is one of the main advantages of a high credit score. There is another more important factor that you might want to address first. So the next reason you might be killing your credit score, which can cause it to drop up 200 points or more if you're not being careful, is missed payments. This is a big one because payment history makes up 35% of your score, making it the most influential factor. To maintain a good score, aim for 100% on-time payments across all your accounts. This shows lenders you're trustworthy when it comes to paying bills. For fixed rate loans like mortgages, the monthly payment remains the same, making it easier to stay consistent. However, with credit cards, you're only required to pay the minimum by the due date to avoid penalties. But if you're smart, you'll want to pay off the statement balance in full. Doing this not only keeps your payments on time, but also helps you to avoid costly interest charges, something you definitely want to avoid. Now, if you do miss a payment, don't stress right away. If you make the payment within 30 days of the due date, it generally won't be reported to the credit bureaus, meaning your credit score shouldn't drop yet. However, you're still probably going to be charged a late fee, and missing multiple payments or waiting too long can severely impact your score. The longer the payment is overdue, 30, 60, or 90 days, the worse the damage becomes. So it's crucial to set up reminders or automate payments to avoid these issues. Now, in my experience, improving my own credit score comes down to focusing focusing on 3 key things. First, I have to be patient. I'm avoiding opening too many new credit accounts at once. Too many hard inquiries and new accounts can lower the average age of my credit, which could hurt my score. Second, I never ever miss a payment. This is the most critical factor for the score. I put my home and car loan on autopay, so I never miss a payment. For my credit cards, I set phone reminders to ensure everything is paid on time, and I manage email notification for credit card statements. Here's a pro tip. Some credit card issuers might let you adjust your payment due dates to set a specific date. This works great if you have too many credit cards to better manage all of them and maybe paying off at the same time. Try calling your card issuer and ask about this. If you are short in your bank account, probably having different dates might be more helpful to you. It just all depends on individual situation. Finally, I regularly check my credit card balances throughout the month to ensure they aren't too high compared to my limits. If they are, I pay them down before the statement closing date, keeping my credit utilization low, which helps maximize my score. So the good news are that each of the 5 reasons that might be killing your credit score can be fixed with a little attention and strategy. Let me know how it's going for you in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more tips, and share it with anyone who would use some extra financial tips. See you in the next one.